Well, it's an honor for me to welcome you to Antietam National Battlefield. We have 2,380 acres here of prime, pristine battlefield.
So I would say the topography, I would change. 1 second you have these large hills, next it's more of a slope.
All summer long, Robert E. Lee had bested the Union Army. He's got some option. He's 30 miles south of Washington, D.C. He's got the capital of the United States within his grasp.
Well, I feel like I could actually imagine the people and like how it was in action.
This is part of our annual U.S. Military History Staff Ride. And the Staff Ride is a vehicle we use to get our young people to learn and engage in our beautiful American history.
Here is my hero of the Civil War, Jonathan Letterman. Remember that, put it in your brain. Father of battlefield medicine.
What's going through my mind is that I get to see everything, how it was. It's preserved well. We get to see all the buildings, where the posts were at, and that I feel that it's an awesome way to learn.
I feel like we take a lot of things for granted. We don't actually realize how much many people put in so much effort into this country.
In 1799, they began building the armory and the arsenal. This monument represents the position of the original firehouse. You've heard of Lewis and Clark. Well, Meriwether Lewis came here to pick up his camping supplies. That included Harpers Ferry rifles.
John Brown and 3 of his sons moved there to advance the cause of abolition.
He believed in the Old Testament, an eye for an eye.
John Brown came in and captured all the guns and got hostages, and then went to the firehouse where they were then defeated.
10 were killed on the raid, 7 were captured and executed, and 5 got away on the John Brown raid. Today, it's a visitor center.
The room above you is called the formal parlor, meant for a space for Washington to have meetings with his guests such as Thomas Jefferson, Patrick Henry, James Madison.
Last year, coming back from the presidency, we had 677 overnight stays.
The house is amazing.
I think that George Washington lives a better life than I did.
It'd be really nice to live here with your family, especially George Washington. He was gone for many years in the Revolutionary War. And just to come back to this nice place with your family, it's something that not a lot of people have.
Mush cakes, same as every other common person does eat around here. Slave people food for the most part, but of course he don't like to be associated with General Washington, president of these here United Americas, eating common people food, mush cakes.
But I can tell what she was saying, the kids were actually receiving that very well. When they saw the slave quarters and when they saw the different things that they had not seen in the history books, I think that's the things that to me is what we call experiential learning, when you're actually there on the ground and looking at these things. That's just a different perspective you'll never see in the classroom or in the history books.
There are 317 slaves that live and work upon this estate.
Just realizing that 200, 300 years ago, people of my color, people of my ethnicity were here, trying to get their freedom, trying to get their rights.
Now, substitute all gray marker with a cross on the back. Branches of the armed forces.
Rashko Kralika, born 1908, Serbian, killed by the Ustasha 1942. Anda Pralica, born 1899, Serbian, killed by the Ustasha, 1942.
Like really shocking experience to actually see like the pictures and the artifacts that they had.
And then dad, sick man, born 1942, Serbian, child, died 1942.
Thank you for taking time to visit with me. I appreciate it very much.
The cadets here are enrolled in our Honors U.S. Military History program. We appreciate you taking time out of a busy schedule to share some insights of your public service.
I'm the only Texas Republican woman who's ever served in Congress. There are a lot of people, there are a lot of you that could do this. My work day, it starts usually earlier than this. Today I go into a defense subcommittee, a hearing. The Secretary of Defense is going to testify.
Congratulations, it's going to be a really great opportunity for you to be able to further your career, starting off in JROTC and then moving on. My primary goal on the Armed Services Commission was obviously to make sure that our military personnel had everything they needed to be successful on any missions they were deployed.
Coming here and meeting with the representatives was getting to learn how they got to where they are now, that this wasn't their first choice of what they were going to do for the rest of their lives.
Each state gets to send 2 statues to the Capitol.
It's really impressive. See all of this sculptures and all the work put into it.
So every statue you see here in the Capitol, in the rotunda, is a former president. The reason why it's my favorite right here is this slab right here in granite is actually a piece of the Berlin Wall.
This national park that I work for has close to 35 million visitors coming to it every year. And these memorials are places where they can come and reflect on the American history that's taken place over 200 years.
You get to realize how many people actually died. Instead of like seeing a number, you get to see all of the names.
407 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. And the whole theme to the memorial focuses on Lincoln wanting to keep the nation together. The memorial is designed after one of Jefferson's favorite pieces of architecture in the world. It's from the ancient Pantheon in Rome. A piece has pulled out from the mountain. It's opened the mountain of despair. And in the front of that stone that pulls out is carved the image of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
You can't have it any better as a student and as a teacher than standing at Antietam battlefield and talking about Bloody Lane. You can't have it any better talking about Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech than standing outside the Lincoln Memorial on the very spot that he stood and gave that speech. It's an experience that will be in their memories for a lifetime.